Kia ora everybody. On Friday last week, I did a video about the best TV shows to watch to go and get you into the Christmas spirit, like TV episodes, or shows with TV specials, Christmas specials, stuff like that. I didn't want to do reality shows that had like Christmas spin-offs and stuff like that, but linear TV shows that tell a story that had a Christmas episode that was kind of cool. Today I'm going to expand on that just a little bit by doing Christmas movies that aren't Christmas movies but are totally Christmas movies. Just by saying that, you already know what my number one choice is going to be, but this is actually a surprisingly large genre of film. There's a whole bunch of movies that are kind of set at Christmas that aren't really Christmas movies but are actually Christmas movies if you think about it. So I'm going to go through 5 of those for you to sit down, which you can hopefully sit down and watch this week and really enjoy to get you into the Christmas spirit if, like me, you are nowhere near that at the moment. Right, so first up, we have Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhands, and it's really easy to see in a way how this is a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas. The scene where he's trying to open presents and fit in is absolutely brilliant, but on a deeper level, this is actually a reverse Grinch. Instead of it being about a grumpy guy who isolates himself from people and goes and finally learns the meaning of Christmas and joins them all, it's somebody who joins people and realizes that, realistically, people are a pile of shit, and then goes and isolates himself at the end to get away from that. It's like the Grinch in reverse, and I think that's one of the reasons why I really like it. But the people that are really important to him at the end still get something from him when you see the snow scene. It's a beautiful way to end things, to show that perhaps the most important thing about Christmas is the people that you love knowing that you care for them. And that, I thought, was a really cool way of doing a Christmas message in a movie that's not a Christmas movie, but is totally a Christmas movie. Okay, the next one's actually a bit more obvious, but it's The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, the Chronicles of Narnia series. And the reason for that is that it's obviously set in winter, in eternal winter in Narnia, but it's when you have Christmas who shows up and Santa's there with presents, and that starts to weaken the White Witch. And while Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe is very much an allegory for Christ, they try and make it also a Christmas thing as well, which was quite interesting considering how devout the writer was when he first came up with this series. And he wanted an allegory about Jesus, but to throw Christmas in there and Santa Claus in there as well, that was a bit strange. But that doesn't change the fact that this movie is very much a Christmas movie without trying too hard to be all Christmassy. It's about a group of kids who are overcoming adversity, who have to work together to be able to make sure good things happen to people. That's as Christmassy as it gets, really. Our next choice is a little bit more controversial, but still kind of important. It's Stanley Kubrick's last film, Eyes Wide Shut, which, if you haven't seen it, is very much a film for adults and definitely not a Christmas movie you want to share with your kids. But Kubrick was really careful about changing the setting of the original book to Christmas in the 1990s, and there is so much written about why he did that. It's quite surprising. It's everything from being able to use Christmas lights as ambient lighting. It gives him this whole strange, eerie, sort of supernatural feel, which he really enjoyed doing with his depth of focus, all the way through to how Christmas often symbolizes things like promising more than what you actually receive. The film starts and finishes very much on traditional Christmas outgoings. One's like a Christmas party and the other is Christmas shopping with the kids. And Christmas kind of wraps up the whole thing. It's very much not designed to be your typical happy family Christmas movie, but Eyes Wide Shut is both a very typical Kubrick film and one of those movies that sort of stands out as being kind of jarring, like a lot of Kubrick stuff actually was, and Christmas is the setting for it with Christmas themes as undertones. And it's probably, to be fair, the most Christmassy Christmas stuff you would ever get out of Stanley Kubrick. And it's absolutely amazing to sit down and watch the film with that lens, knowing that this is actually, at its heart, a Christmas film. Right, the next choice is something that you look at it and you go, that actually could be a Christmas movie, but people often forget it. It's 1984's Gremlins from Joe Dante. And the reason I put this on my Christmas list, other than the fact that, it's set at Christmas, it's again about overcoming adversity and coming together to make sure everybody lives happily ever after. Not everybody lives happily ever after, but it is such a fun, over-the-top type of movie that it's so easy to sit back and relax and enjoy. It plays a little bit with Christmas tropes as well, which is really cool, including, the really dark, twisted turn of what happened in the chimney at Christmas. It's totally bonkers. And the work with the Gremlins themselves is so much fun, and they have... every time they're on screen, it's kind of a fun moment, and you don't often get that with monster movies. But it's very much a fun little monster movie set at Christmas that's kind of a Christmas movie but also a monster movie. So totally recommend, if you haven't seen it, first of all, where have you been? Second of all, you need to watch it before you watch the equally brilliant sequel. Third of all, just go and watch it. Go watch Gremlins. Do it now. Go on. I'll wait till you get back. Okay, maybe not, but go watch it. Right, now look, you know by now what number one is going to be. It has to be Die Hard. And while Bruce Willis will turn around and say it's not a Christmas movie, it's a Bruce Willis movie, the fact of the matter is, there is so many Christmas tropes in there that it's impossible to see it not as a Christmas movie. Down to the fact that it's full of Christmas music, it's set at an office Christmas party, it's literally a guy trying to get back to his family on Christmas, like so many other films. But then there's other little things in there as well, like McClane's wife's name is Holly, which is kind of a Christmas pun, and it snows at the end of the movie. It hasn't snowed in LA in like 50 years, but the movie ends with snow and everybody happy together and everyone living happily ever after, because that's what happens in Christmas movies, with joyous Christmas music and all sorts of wonderful things happening around you. It just happens that there's an amazingly brilliant terrorist in Alan Rickman's Hans Gruber that gets in the way, and explosions and terrorist attacks and all the rest of it. At its core, Die Hard is still a Christmas movie. And anybody who doesn't see that is probably not wanting to see it. However, I would like to very much point out those there, in case anyone wants to come at me with this. Those are my film degrees. I have a couple of degrees in film theory, and as a professional expert in such things, I'm telling you now, Die Hard is the ultimate in non-Christmas Christmas movies. And you can take that to the bank. You know what? I think that's me done for the week. I will catch you all on Wednesday, where I've got some really weird, creepy Christmas facts for you, because that's kind of the theme of the week. And if you haven't done so already, go out and get shopping or making stuff, doing something for the people around you for Christmas. For me, I've got family finally visiting this week, so I will catch you all later. Ka kite.